Okay. Hello, freedom fighters, and hello,
Hi,
Lisa.
Venus. Hello.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us tonight, Lisa.
Thank you for having me on tonight.
Really excited for tonight's session because we're going to be talking about how to build your dream team. And you certainly need a team when it comes to investing in property. Me, I'm just one person. There's only so many hours we have in the day. Do you ever feel like there's not enough hours in the day to do what you want to do?
Oh, 100%. Every single day, the day just flies. I
It
didn't
does.
really
And when you're
know.
working full time, I mean, look, Lisa, you're a mother of four children.
Yes, 4 kids.
How old are your little ones?
So I started young. So I have a 21-year-old. I have a 17-year-old.
What do you mean you've got a 21-year-old? You look like you're 21 yourself. How is that possible?
It is possible because I was young when I started. Um, my my youngest is 4.
Wow.
Age gap.
Wow. Amazing. Mother of four with a 21-year-old and a 4-year-old and working full time working woman and investing successfully in property yourself. And you're a property coach with Positive Property.
Yes.
Pretty amazing. Thanks for joining us, George.
I thought I might as well say hello. Hello, Lisa. Welcome. Hello, Christina. I'm really excited to introduce Lisa to everyone today. It's going to be awesome. Um, and I really am excited about sharing Lisa's story because it shows that if you're determined, you can create the life you want to create.
100%.
And whatever you're using to look so young, we need to learn your secrets so we can use it as well.
My secret, my secret would definitely be keeping healthy and fit. So in my spare time, going to the gym and meditating as well has been a savior.
Awesome. So what do you do in the gym?
What do I do in the gym? I do a bit of everything. I like doing a lot of group classes. I do a little walking as well. I've got a dog, so now I can walk my dog. Getting out, doing
Fantastic.
vitamin D.
I love it. I love it. So when you're not coaching people and helping them move forward with their properties, that's what you're doing. Now, what I love about you, Lisa, is that you walk your talk. There's a lot of coaches out there, but I mean, you've got 5 properties under your belt and you know what you're doing. And that's excellent. So you've been through this over and over again and you got the experience. So you know how to help people do it when they're starting out, which is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yes.
A lot of your properties, you've actually been through the building process with buying off the plan and then building because it's not easy to go through that process and it can take a bit of time. But the fact that you've done it yourself a number of times, you've been through the steps. So you really understand the ins and outs.
And we did it through COVID as well. So it was a bit of a challenge around them as well, because obviously it was with construction, changing, stopping, starting. So I've been through it all.
You've lived to tell the tale. You had to summarize like your number one takeaway from going through that process and I guess getting to success, what would it be?
Do your research. Do your research. Make sure you have, your circle of safety, people that are going to back you up. Because if you don't know what you're doing, that's where you're going to, it's going to be a lot more harder to kind of get where you want to get.
Absolutely. If you don't have a circle of safety and you don't have a plan, it's like putting a blindfold on and then getting in the car and trying to get to your destination. It's going to be very hard. I mean, a lot of people don't even do their goals, so they don't even know their destination in the first place. So it's so important to do that. And especially at the moment, because at the moment, have you guys seen the movie Hunger Games?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I believe that's how I describe our property market at the moment, because listings have gone down 30% since the beginning of COVID. There's more immigration, 750,000 people coming to Australia, and lots of people are getting FOMO. The capital cities are gearing up for a massive housing boom, regardless of the interest rates. It seriously is like Hunger Games out there because people go in there and they give their best and they're bidding as high as they can to get property. What's happened is buildings have gone down. There's less people building because builders are uncertain about costs. So what's happened is there was a lot of housing under construction, but the completion has gone right down. If you look at the curve, it's crazy. So, and now with all the immigration, it's going to be even harder.
Well, just to keep up, we need to be building 16,700 new dwellings annually. How many are we currently building to keep up with that demand?
Look, building has stopped. So if I share my screen, I'll show you what's happened is, let me share my screen. So you can have,
I'll let you.
thank you. Yeah, you won't let me do that.
We can see your beautiful belts in the background with those belts. So
Yes.
the whole idea about what we do and what we help our members with is we help you get to become a black belt investor. So we walk you through, each property represents a belt there.
Mhm.
And you want to keep going along slow and steady, going up the rungs.
That's right. So if you look at this graph, you can see,
construction.
yeah. So if you look at the red is actually commencements. How many buildings we commenced, and look how high it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now look at completions, the green one. Look where that is.
Oh, wow.
Nothing. They've completed nothing.
There's a big gap there between the two, between the red line and the green line.
Yeah. Well, okay. So commencements, rolling annual, right? Commencements. We're looking at 230,000 properties, but we've only done 170. We're like 60,000 short.
Wow, that's massive.
Yeah. So now I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Yeah. So there you go. That's what's happening at the moment. Just so people know what's going on in the property market. It is crazy. And that's why I'm calling it Hunger Games, because you really literally have to go and fight everyone else just to get a property.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do we move forward in these interesting times that we're facing at the moment?
Well, look, the one thing that we have to realize is scarcity is the greatest thing that can create value. Doesn't matter if it's property, clothes, a pop star, anything. When something's scarce, it adds value. So
Yeah.
property is one of those things. They're not building any more property because there's only a certain amount of land on earth, and the population is getting bigger. So it's a dwindling resource that more and more people want. And now we've got even more scarcity because we don't even have buildings to house people. So we're going to have a massive homelessness problem here in Australia, which is very sad to hear. So, America, there's all these homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
That could be coming here in Australia, unfortunately. We've been able to avoid most of that problem for many decades, whereas America's that problem. But because what happens to America?
Question. Someone just asked, so do we wait?
All right. No. Good question about waiting. What we want to do, we don't want to wait, because the deal is with real estate. I'll give you a real big secret. You buy property and wait. You don't wait and then buy property. You got to get it the right way around. That's the most important thing. So you don't want to wait, because there's not. I think you guys are adorable. That's beautiful. I'm sure to talk about Lisa. I should really move my head. I'll be the cloud between two roses.
There you go. Balance it out a little.
Yep. So, no, waiting is not the option, because if you wait, then you're going to miss out, because property price is going to keep going and you're going to miss the get. So what happens is, so, I've been in property for 20 years, and I've seen property, do nothing, then go through a boom, then go backwards a bit, then do nothing, go through a boom, and over and over and over. And I've seen it so many times that I could close my eyes. I know what's going to happen. And the problem with people is they look at the property market and they're like, wow, it's stagnant at the moment. I want to buy now. But now's the time you need to really buy, because This is the opportunity. If you get that, now the hard part is if you're going to buy now, one, you definitely want to get in the right area, which makes it harder because there's a lack of properties. Two,
You've got interest rates to worry about. Can we just touch on interest rates as well for a second here?
yes, okay. What would you like to know?
I mean, look, they are a little bit higher. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's call a spade a spade. But the deal is, yeah, it may cost you a bit of money to get into the market initially, just with those holding costs. But you need to look at the deal as a whole and assess the cash flow and use the cash flow calculator to work it out. And even if it costs you a bit to get into the market, is it worth it? Absolutely, because you've got an asset that's going to double in value. The cash flow is just a bonus. The real money you make with property is capital growth.
Yes, and the capital growth drives the cash flow. The thing is, though, what people have to realize, when it's difficult to get into property, that's actually the best time to do it, because it's easier when it's hard, because there's less
When
people
everyone can
competing.
do it, there's going to be less properties available because everyone wants you to.
We just have another question. So is there any forecast of building materials coming down in price? Do you think as a country need to start manufacturing our own products?
I totally agree. We should be manufacturing our own products,
That's
definitely.
a great question.
I feel that what happened with COVID was just crazy. So what happened was the cost of the materials didn't actually go up, but we had a supply problem because of the COVID restrictions. And I think that was a stupid thing to do. Should have just put masks on everyone and get those boats out there, because we live in a globalized economy. And by stopping the economy, what happened was they created scarcity and the prices have gone up. The supply chains are fixed now. But the problem is, no one's going back to the original price. It's still those high prices.
Mm-hmm. It's just shifted to that next bracket, hasn't it?
It has. And it's very unfair, because we shouldn't be paying that much. But it is what it is. What can you do? Now, there was a lot of competition before this, and building companies were really, the manufacturers and the suppliers were really cutthroat. Now what they've done is, you used to be able to buy materials in Adelaide cheaper than Sydney and Melbourne, because it's a smaller state. But now it's the same price all around Australia. You're paying same price in Sydney as you are in Adelaide, right? But the value of the property is higher in Sydney. So are they going to go down? Look, most building materials have stabilized, but not enough. And recently, I mean, we had another builder go broke in Adelaide. He was quite a big builder, for Mary Homes, and he's gone, disappeared. Now, they were doing really well, so I don't know what happened there. I don't know much about the story. I've got to find out. I'm having a meeting with the guy next week about it, actually, because I always like to know why people went down, just to keep an eye on what's happening, so I know what's happening. But yeah, it's terrible. So that's the thing. So
So what sort of research should we be doing then to get the best outcome that we can when it comes to buying properties?
look, the deal is, you got to buy from a builder that's cashed up. So the small builders, you just got to stay away from them, because unfortunately, it's hard for them to do properties and stay profitable. So it's not their fault. I like to support small business, but at the moment, it's too risky. So the challenge is, a lot of builders are just saying no, because they're too scared. Because if they get it wrong, they're going to lose money. So the big builders, the really big ones, they're highly leveraged. You don't go with them either. So what I'm going second tier builders. So we normally get builders that do 500 to 1,000 properties a year, because those builders can do it with cash and they don't need to borrow money, and they're great. The bigger builders, they have to borrow money. The smaller builders, they have to borrow money. That little size, 500 to 1,000, they're cashed up and they're really ready to go. And I like people that are cashed up.
So it's all about getting that sweet spot, isn't it?
Yes, with everything, you've got to get that sweet spot. You know what I mean? That's the fact.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do we, I guess, assess what we're facing at the moment to get the best outcomes with moving forward and getting our property investing goals?
I suggest that you can't do it on your own. You need someone with experience to help you, someone on the ground. Like, for example, we've got a team of people from the building industry that are doing this day in, day out, because we're helping 10 to 20 clients get properties every week here in Australia. That's a lot of properties. Do a lot of property deals. And the fact of it is, when you do that many, you build a name for yourself. I mean, we're a buyers group. Because we're a buyers group, we get special treatment, which is great. So what you want to do is find one of the buyers groups. We're not the only one. There's other buyers groups around. And what you need to do is find a buyers group that you can trust, that have got the purchasing ability to maintain a good relationship, the builder to look after you. Because we've got over 1,000 members Australia-wide. So we're a big deal when it comes to developers. They come to us and they like to look after us and make sure we're happy because we've got so many buyers. A lot of projects that are coming up this year, we're getting first option to get 50% of the project. Then the other 50% goes to the rest of Australia, which is another like 3,000 companies than us. Pretty awesome.
So we're in a good boat here with our members.
We're in a good boat. And then we've got some of our members complaining because it's taking a while to find the property. Well, look, there's nothing getting constructed and we're still getting completed homes. We're getting properties.
It's very rare though, George, when you do say that we do get completed.
We've got quite a few this week coming in, complete properties, which is great. But also, we're finding properties. We've got some properties in large regional centres for only $380,000.
That's amazing, especially for the members who can only get that lower buying capacity as well.
Exactly.
We can still get those properties, even if you are on that little lower end, we can still find you something.
Yeah, you probably get into the market and get started.
Yep. So Lisa, what do you enjoy most about your job? I'd like to know.
I love supporting my members, watching them go through their property investing journey, getting them, kicking goals. I also love the supportive team as well. So we've got a great supportive team. We have great core values. It's amazing, company to be with. It's amazing members to, be surrounded with as well. I mean, what isn't there to love? And I'm also, keeping myself in the loop with investing in property.
Absolutely. And look, I find that having a community of like-minded people is so powerful. Because the thing is, if you learn maths at school and you go 1 plus 1, what does that equal? 2, right?
Yeah.
I was going to make it easy. Now, however, when you've got like-minded people, when you've got 1 plus 1 equals 3, you actually get more and create more as a team. And
yeah, we get to leverage off everyone else's experience and knowledge.
Yep.
100%.
If someone's asking if George is a good boss.
They said, is he a bad?
That one, Lisa?
Who's answering that one?
You can be honest. You can be honest.
He's actually amazing to work for. He's a great boss. He's very knowledgeable. He's very fair and he's very supportive.
There you go. You've got a good report card there. Well, guys, that brings us to the end of tonight's session. We've got to head on over to our private group of members to share the love and continue on with how to build a property dream team tonight. So we're going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week at the same time.
No worries. See you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.